Hi guys, this is IGCSE O-Level Chemistry, paper 12, June 2014, question 1. Two gas jars each contain a different gas. The gas jars are connected and the cover slips are removed. The diagram shows what happens to the particles of the gases. So we've got the white molecules in the lower jar and the gray molecules in the upper jar. When the cover slips are removed, the molecules mix with each other. So the white ones travel up and the gray ones travel down. So this is basically movement from a higher concentration to a lower concentration. So what is being represented here is diffusion. So the question is, which process has occurred? A chemical reaction? No. Condensation? There is no presence of water in the jar. Diffusion? Yes. That is exactly what is represented by the diagram. And evaporation? There was no water to begin with, or a liquid rather. So evaporation is conversion from liquid to gas. So it is not visible in the diagrams of the experiment that was performed. So the correct option for this question is option C. Question 2. A liquid is heated until it boils. So we have ethanol, a spirit burner, 25 cm3 of a liquid, test tube, and a thermometer. Which result shows that the liquid in the test tube is pure water? Condensation forms at the top of the test tube. Okay, this only shows that water is present. It does not show that the liquid is pure water. Steam is produced, water is present again. Thermometer reads 100 degrees Celsius. Yes, because if the water present is pure, it would boil at 100 degrees Celsius. Pure water has a very fixed boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. And there is nothing left behind in the test tube. A liquid was present, which when heated completely turned to vapor. That's all that can be concluded from this statement. Therefore, option C is the correct option for this question. Question 3. Which two methods can be used to separate a salt from its solution in water? A salt from its solution. Okay, so the salt is dissolved. So crystallization, yes, because in crystallization, we evaporate most of the water, which results in crystals forming, and then we filter it. So we actually separate the soluble salt in the form of crystals from its solution. So this is correct. Decanting. Decanting would not result in separation of salt from its solution because the salt is dissolved. Distillation, yes, because when we heat the solution, the water will evaporate, leaving behind the salt. Filtration, there is no precipitate present in the solution of a soluble salt, so filtration will not result in the separation of the salt from its solution. So since methods 1 and 3 are correct, option B is the correct option for this question. Question 4. Which statements about a phosphorus atom are correct? The nuclear number is 16. No, the nuclear number is 31, not 16. This is incorrect. The number of outer electrons is 5. So there are 15 electrons. So that would result in an electronic configuration of 2, 8, which is 10, and then 5. So yes, the outer electrons is 5. This is correct. And the proton number is 15. This is the proton number. And the proton number says 15. So this statement is also correct. Since statements 2 and 3 are correct, option D is the correct option for this question. Question 5. The diagrams show 4 particles. And which two diagrams show atoms that are isotopes of each other? So isotopes are atoms of the same element having the same number of electrons and protons but different number of neutrons. So in one, let's write down electrons, protons, and neutrons. So number of electrons is 3, protons is 2, and neutrons is also 2. For 2, we've got 3 electrons, 3 protons, and 3 neutrons. For particle 3, we've got 4 electrons, 3 protons, and 3 neutrons. And for particle 4, we've got 3 electrons, 3 protons, and 4 neutrons. So they should have the same number of electrons and protons. So 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 3, and 3, 3. So 3, 3. This is the same. So the particles 2 and 4 have got the same number of electrons and protons, and this one has 3 neutrons, this one has 4 neutrons, and that is the requirement of isotopes. So particles 2 and 4 are isotopes of each other, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 6. The lead in a pencil is made of a mixture of graphite and clay. When the percentage of graphite is increased, the pencil slides across the paper more easily. Which statement explains this observation? Graphite has a high melting point. The statement itself is correct, but does not explain why a pencil slides across the paper more easily. So becomes incorrect. Graphite is a form of carbon. Again, a true statement, but does not explain the situation. Graphite is a lubricant. Yes, layers of graphite can slide over one another, making it a lubricant. So when more graphite is present, it will slide over the paper more easily. And graphite is a non-metal. This is also a true statement, but not the one that explains why pencils slide across the paper more easily. So option C is the correct option for this question. Question 7. The electronic structures of two atoms X and Y are shown. X and Y combine together to form a compound. What is the type of bonding in the compound and what is the formula of the compound? Okay, so X has 2, 4, 6, and 7. 7 electrons in its outermost shell. So this belongs to group 7. Y has 2, 4, and 6. 6 electrons in its outermost shell. So this has the same electronic configuration as elements in group 6. So, yeah, 2, 4, and 6. Yes. Group 6 and 2, 4, 6, and 1, 7. Yeah. So X belongs to group 7 and Y belongs to group 6. So Y and X both need to gain electrons to achieve a noble gas configuration. That means they will share electrons. So if they are sharing electrons, that makes them covalent compounds. So this eliminates options C and D. Now, Y needs to gain 1 electron each from one separate X. That means two X's will combine with Y. So the molecule that will form would either be called YX2, YX2, or X2Y. One of these ways of writing the molecule would be correct. So in option A, we've got X2Y, which is one of the methods. And in B, we've got XY2, which makes option B incorrect. And option A, the correct option for this question. Question 8. The structure of an organic compound X is shown. What is the molecular formula of X? So we just count the number of hydrogen and carbon. So carbons are 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we've got C7, which eliminates options A and B. And hydrogen, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we've got 12 hydrogen, which makes option C correct and option D incorrect. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option C. Question 9. What is the relative molecular mass of nitrogen dioxide? So the AR of nitrogen is 14 and of oxygen is 16. So we need to calculate the MR. So MR of nitrogen dioxide is NO2. So this would be 14 plus 16 plus 16. So 16 to the 32, 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46. So the molecular mass of NO2 is 46, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 10. Electrical cables are made from either dash. So now the options are aluminum, copper, and magnesium. So electrical cables are not made from magnesium. They could either be made from aluminum or copper. So this eliminates option D because it is a very good conductor of electricity, or from dash because, okay, so it could be aluminum or copper again. So we continue with all three options because it has a low density. So now the low density is true for aluminum. The low density is true for aluminum. So this eliminates option A, which has copper. So now we continue with B and C. Overhead cables have a dash core in order to give the cable strength. So it has a core made of steel in order to give it more strength. So this eliminates option B and makes option C the correct option for this question.